What's up, guys? It's TJ, and I am here with the resource video for part 2 of our senior class. So the first part is what are some of the major things that we believe as Christians. The second part is kind of what are some typical objections to Christianity that you might come across, and we dealt with those in our last 2 videos. And so I just wanted to give you some resources. So I'm here at the Student Center, so I actually have some of my books in person. So the first one is called Who Made God? And answers to over 100 other tough questions of faith. It's by Ravi Zacharias and Norman Geisler. And so it has really short answers to a bunch of questions. And a lot of, especially in the very beginning, it deals with stuff that we've talked about evil and about science and about moral objections to Christianity and all kinds of those things. So that's really good. And also, I would commend Ravi Zacharias' online ministry. They have a ton of resources, videos on YouTube, blogs, I think a podcast, I'm not sure. But that is super helpful. This one is by Preston Sprinkle. It's called Living in a Gray World, A Christian Teen's Guide to Understanding Homosexuality. And then there's a bigger version called A People to Be Loved that deals a lot more with like the biblical arguments with it. But it just kind of is dealing with how Christians think about homosexuality and other LGBT issues, which is one of the main things that we talked about in our video. So I wanted to offer that as well. This, Francis Schaeffer's The God Who Is There, this is probably the most philosophical, academic one on here, but this was really helpful for me when I was in college. It just talks a lot about philosophy and how Christians can engage in the world in a way that is unique, but also like still contributing beneficially to the world and not just like moving away from it. So that's really good. This one is called Knowledge and Christian Belief by Alvin Plantinga, and it kind of begins as an argument for how do we know that what we believe as Christians is true, and then he talks about some of the what he calls defeaters, which are the objections, and talks about evil and those kinds of things. So this is really helpful as well. Also, there are 2 that I do not have a copy of on me. One is called Reasonable Faith by William Lane Craig. He's probably the most well-known, respected guy who is thinking about how to defend Christianity from objections. And so he is very smart. It's pretty intense as a book, but it's really, really good. And if you're like really into science, he goes like deep into physics and the origin of the universe and all kinds of stuff. So that's good. But the chapter in there on the resurrection is really, really awesome as well. And I would commend that to you. And then lastly is a book by N.T. Wright that is called Evil and the Justice of God. And it just deals specifically with the problem of evil in a way that I think is really helpful, talking about the uniqueness of our faith as God is one who suffers with us in Jesus. So those are some resources. Hopefully those are helpful to you. And yeah, this one's a little bit more academic than the other sections. And so if you're not into that, don't worry about it. But if you are, those are some places that you can start. All right, cool. Thanks, guys.